so well. It's got the...
Keep on smiling in my time.
Hey, my name is Cameron. I'm here with Discovercars, and here we have another Abarth, except it's an Abarth 595 Competizione, which means competition. So it is the 132 kilowatt version of the 595. Let's check it out. So as some of you may know, I own an Abarth 500 SS. They first came to Australia around 2011. Ever since then, Fiat's been releasing slow updates, and this has been the biggest update to the 500 range since. It's the 595 Competizione. So the powertrain actually came out a couple years prior. So it's an 132 kilowatt or 180 horsepower to our international listeners out there, which is actually quite substantial for a car that weighs just over a ton. So much so that my car doesn't have that much power, has a little bit less, and you can feel the difference when you buy some groceries and chuck them in the back. Or if you're carrying your girlfriend around and you feel it all get sluggish and you almost think about being single might make you faster. So, checking out this Abarth, it's a lot more aggressive than mine. The body panels are all more muscular, there's a lot more airflow going on, the diffuser is more aggressive, the front end's got bigger air vents. I mean, there's a lot to talk about in terms of what's different, and we can brush over that. Otherwise, what you're looking at is essentially an Italian pocket rocket. It's got quad exhaust with a bimodal exhaust system, meaning it has a little valve, so when you get over about $3.5 grand, the valve opens up and you get more noise coming from it and better performance as well. You also have these cool funky tail lights with the body panel color actually inside of it, which is I kind of like how it looks, a bit more futuristic. And coming around this way, you notice the multi-spoke wheels. Those are some mean looking wheels, they're nice and black. They also contrast the black stripe. This is an Abarth, this is not a Fiat. Abarth wants to make sure you know that. So you'll see a ton of Abarth logos everywhere. It's about 10 on the exterior. Now 11 considering they've actually added in a little bath inbuilt into the actual grille, but we'll show you that later. Otherwise, coming around, you're really looking at cross-drilled Brembo brakes. That's something that's pretty much unheard of cars this size, which is so much fun and actually is quite good performance on the track. When you come around to the front, I mean, obviously, hello, big side sticker, and also sunroof, so you can hear more of that noise going on. I drive a 500, I've been driving my 500 Abarth since 2011. Maybe it's just something that's a bit different. If you've never driven one of these before, this is also something that will surprise you beyond belief. I have people driving down the highway that think it's just another little Fiat or just at the lights, but as soon as you take off and beat them, they get quite annoyed. So if you like doing that sort of stuff, try the Abarth out. Also, the air vents at the front, a lot more aggressive, a lot more airflow going through. I think it's about a 40% to 30% increase in airflow with the new bumper and new designs. Other than that, let's check out the interior. So welcome to the interior of the Abarth. Right now you can see there's a couple of things going on. You can obviously see carbon fiber and Alcantara on the steering wheel, on a bigger flat bottom steering wheel. Also, right here is a Seatbelt seat. Yes, a Seatbelt seat in a Fiat Abarth. This thing is a massive bucket seat that is designed to hug you in those corners because this thing corners like it's on rails. I think with these bucket seats, they have nice, this is a cloth one, you can get them in leather, and you can get them carbon fiber back, but this is sort of like a coarse, just a different sort of finish. Around here, there's this little amenities, like really cool metal gear shifter as well as pedals, and then obviously, which is new to the 500 range this year, is the 7-inch touchscreen. That really just brings some more infotainment features, and also you can option like Beats audio in here and some different leather options. You don't have to have aggressive seats like this. You can option some more normal looking seats, but I mean, these are pretty fun to sit in. Metal shifters, a short throw as well. Every gear change, it goes to that Monza exhaust out the back, and boy oh boy, that Monza exhaust sounds so good. Like I said with the Abarth 124, it's a more rewarding exhaust system. You really have to work to get those pops and bangs, but once you do, oh my gosh, you want to try and replicate that again. I mean, that's for sure. I've got the same exhaust system on this, from this car on my Abarth 500, and that's just, yeah, I've been paying a bit more in petrol just because I've been trying to get more of those pops and bangs. And other than that, I mean, if you see this thing up here, this is a turbo boost gauge. If you've never seen a turbo boost gauge before, it just tells you how much pressure is going through. It's not entirely necessary to have here up on the dash, but it's something that is really cool to look at when you see you going full bore. You've got the full boost going on as well as your accelerator, and a full digital color dash. That is something that's really cool. It changes when you go to sport mode. How sick's that? Like, you press sport mode and G-force meters come out and all these, the tachometer changes and all that. But if you had a sport mode, it goes, okay, you want to be a normal city car, it goes back to sort of normal readings. 4 seats. The seats do fold down in the back. It's quite practical, this car. I know that sounds really funny to say to some people, but man, oh man, this car can fit some stuff. I've been IKEA shopping, I've got desks in this thing, I've got, you name it. I've actually moved house with a little help from a van to get some bigger items like a couch, but other than that, moved with a car like this. But yeah, let's check out the exhaust though, because that's mainly the main part of what you want to hear. Welcome to the Abarth 595 Competizione as we take it for a drive. So right now I've got it in sport and I've turned on TTC. So TTC acts as a limited slip differential, but doesn't really have one in the Australian market. The European ones do, so TTC acts as an electronic one. So right now, really this whole thing is nice tight drive position, sitting, I mean you're sitting a lot higher than you were in the 124, but it is a dailyable sort of hatchback, so it's a lot more practical than the 124. That Monza, I love the Monza. This car most likely has a bigger downpipe, but if anything it has a bigger turbo, so you're getting, I mean, this sounds a lot more like a jet plane trying to take off. And the gear changes are a little bit longer, so you do get a bit of a jerk if you're not careful enough compared to the 124. Also, suspension sort of sits a little bit firmer in this car. I can feel every single cat's eye that I hit going through my butt, but otherwise these seatbelt seats really do a good job of hugging you in. Like, they're really, I mean, you can corner quite flat in this with a lot of G-force going on, as I can tell from my G-force meter in the instrument cluster. I mean, the power comes on with a really strong turbo lag, and once that turbo sort of kicks off, then you've got have an adequate amount of power. But it's just that exhaust. That's the thing with the Abarth. It's like, it looks good, sounds good, drives well. Just gotta, I mean, it's for some people, having it in an Italian car is a bit smaller than most. It's probably not ideal. That's why people go to Golfs and Polos, because they're a little bit more, it's a little more Tesla-like, I guess. Like, this is quite analog, this is quite involved, where a GTI is something that, if you want to make it a bit more involved, it can be, and it'll perform quite well, but it's just not gonna have that same driver involvement that a car like this would. Like, this is just something that's, again, I love this car so much. Thanks for joining us on Discovercars. My name's Cameron. This has been the Abarth 595 Competizione, and like I mentioned, any of these cars that I review, most likely for sale at Golfs in Canberra, unless I tell you otherwise. So feel free to check them out if you're in the Canberra area. They're super friendly, and you might even catch me filming down there if you want to do that. But otherwise, I'll see you around. Bye-bye.